Self-Care Sunday, take 2. Hello, everybody. How are we now? We better? Who's going to be in first the second time around? How am I doing with sound now? Angie, twice in a row, you're number 1. Happy Sunday again. Am I better now, guys? Better, all right. All right. Tell me about your Sunday. How are you doing on Self-Care Sunday? All right. Yeah, I think I was running late, and Rebecca tried to have everything set up for me to go, except for my mic. It wasn't. I have to plug in and connect and wire myself up, so I had everything. She had everything set, but she had the mic partially set. She even had it on the right screen for me to go live and everything all set up so that I just had to walk in the door tonight and go. And I think she was on one screen too far along that it didn't pick up my mic. Hey, Michelle, great to have you with us. Hey, Dennis, howdy back at ya. And the vacuum has left the building. So what is everybody grateful for this Self-Care Sunday? Tell me about it. Tell me what we are grateful for this Self-Care Sunday, folks. Hey, Gwen is back with us. Great to have you here, Gwen. Vina's with us. Feel like I was just talking to you, Vina. Great to have you here on Self-Care Sunday. It's awesome to have everybody here. What are we grateful for on Self-Care Sunday? We stuck it to the man this weekend in Massachusetts, so it was all about sticking it to the tax man this weekend. So on our tax-free weekend, which was great. People love those moments when they can stick it to the tax man. Well, hey, Vita, you knew the answer. Sometimes it's just the words. Nice! I'm glad you got to see your daughter. Birthday Sunday. Happy birthday, Gwen. Oh, Rose, we're just one day closer to the end of all this. You know, we're all working our way there. Take a time, take a breath. That is what Self-Care Sunday is about, is taking a time to take a breath. We're all, as entrepreneurs, really lousy at it, okay? We suck at it, but you need to take that breath. You need to take that time and do that. So, that's okay. It is all good. Kim, great to have you here. Great to have everybody here. What other good news you got for me on this Self-Care Sunday? Give me something good. I'm grateful for the yummy shrimp taco. Oh, shrimp tacos tonight. I like shrimp taco. Another reason for me to come to Virginia. Michelle and shrimp tacos. You goofed off and spent 5 hours on Amazon? Okay, I'm glad you goofed off today, Rose. I'm not sure if 5 hours on Amazon's a good thing, but I'm glad you goofed off. So you were working still, Rose. That's not goofing off. That is working. Let me help you out with that. That is working. It's called research. Research and development, Rose. You're always working. But you're no different than anybody else here. Okay? Everybody's always working. I mean, you've heard me say it many a time, what lesson did I get for that TV show or movie? What business lesson can you walk away with? And so I'm always looking to learn. All right, very nice that you placed an online order with another store and made homemade meatloaf for dinner. Very nice. So people are cooking tonight. Michelle's got shrimp tacos. You've got meatloaf. I'm told Rebecca made dinner, and so that it is just waiting for me to get off the show tonight. And then, I have dinner already arranged for me. So lots of cooking going on here. That's really good. I like that. That's part of self-care Sunday because cooking is very therapeutic. It's a very therapeutic process, cooking and creating. And there's no greater cooker creator in our group than Jennifer Johnson, who just chimed in from Florida. Are you watching Mike again? Is there something that you need to be watching Mike again, Jennifer, for? Is that why you're late? Because you're tuning into that other man? The other man in your life? The heck with Brad. Brad knows he's like last on your list. It seems like you're either tuning in at the 8 o'clock hour to Mike or me. So, but that makes me wonder if there's weather coming that I don't know about. I tend to avoid the news. It's just, and that's not to be ignorant, that's just to be rightfully minded, to have mindfulness, I guess, is my version of mindfulness, is that I can't be brought down by what I don't know. And so much of the news, Dairy Queen's okay. All right, that's okay. I'm okay with Dairy Queen. There's one that we can hit on the way home. Sometimes if we've had a really long day, we'll go through and maybe get an ice cream cone and some pretzel bites or something. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with Dairy Queen. I like a good fancy schmancy ice cream shop or something, homemade ice cream, creative ice cream shop, and we have a lot of them up north here. The good old comfort food of DQ is really awesome. We had one growing up that we were good friends with, the owner of that. So it was very nice to go to Dairy Queen. Very, very nice. But we don't have a lot of them up here anymore in New England. So, but it is great to have you all here on Self-Care Sunday. Let's get the party started here. Let's see what we have in the good morning, good night. Really, a franchise issue in Colombia. Who knows? But, sometimes a DQ just brings us comfort. Our good morning, good night book. It's how we get the program started every night. Great to have you here, Rick. The good morning, good night book. We're tonight on page 146. 146. Good morning. Eyes up. Hearts up. Mind sharp, compassion on full blast. Sip my coffee. Okay, let's go. That's our good morning tonight. It is Self-Care Sunday. Our Self-Care Sunday recipe of the week is sour cream snowball cake. Sour cream snowball cake is the recipe of the week from Creta in another season. I know some of you probably had a chance to make that. We did not. We're usually a week or two behind in making something from Self-Care Sunday in our house. But I got to tell you, the coconut in this and the multiple layers is worth. Is something that would work well in our house. So this recipe is definitely going into the archives of Self-Care Sunday. Self-Care Sunday, the Resale Strong cookbook. The Resale Strong cookbook that we're building up. awesome, Rose. I love that. That is what we're all about. That's the kind of compassion on full blast that we're talking about. So Rose decided a few months ago to do something good for someone else every day. And today she sent an art kit to a resident in a rehab facility who misses doing their painting and sketching. That's awesome, Rose. Big hugs out to you. Big hugs. You're awesome, Rose. Awesome. Love having you here. And that love comes back to you. Just follow Rose's Facebook page at Fashion Safari, and you'll see why she is so loved. It's awesome, Rose. So one of the things I've talked about since the beginning, one of the quotes that I've talked about, or that you could quote me on since the beginning of this, has been to be stubborn in your goals but flexible in your methods. So, you're going to be the best store. You're going to have the best selection. Whatever your goal is, your goal, not my goal, your goal is to be stubborn in that, but be flexible how you get there. Whether that's online, whether that's doing live videos, whether that's setting a rack outside your store. Hey, Nancy, great to have you here on Self-Care Sunday. I hope you had an awesome Stick It to the Man day. So we were sticking it to government this weekend in Massachusetts, so I hope you enjoyed the spoils of that this weekend, and the register was ringing. It was good, although I've got an interesting story from that today, too. So, stubborn in your goals, but flexible in your methods. So stubborn in your goals, flexible in how we get this all done. And every day is a new path in that. I love it! I'm not sure I'd love blueberry wine, although we have fresh farm stand blueberries in the refrigerator. And I put some on Nana's yogurt tonight. But blueberry wine. Actually, our governor likes blueberry beer, so who knew? But that is awesome that your customers are bringing you wine to showcase in the thing. Isn't that awesome, Michelle? Doesn't that show you how you're loved? I mean, we are the safe place for people. We bring joy to so many. Okay, you don't know all the lives you touch. You have no idea. Okay. As you're working away at all hours of the day and night, you are touching people. You are connecting. You are their safe place. You are their happy place. You bring them joy. So this quote comes to us from the tennis world. Okay? The tennis world is, and this week is the U.S. Open, is about to start, and it will start with no fans, athletes in the bubble. They're piping in crowd noise, which I love. Okay, I love that. But they're still playing. The U.S. Open has played continuously since the 1880s. Okay, 1880s the U.S. Open has done. Billie, famous women's tennis pioneer Billie Jean King, on how to balance personal and professional success. In life, champions adjust, she says. Nothing teaches you how to be quite like sports. Constantly, it's all we're doing, adapting, solving the problem. That's what you're doing. That's what you do in business. She thinks sports is a training ground for that. Hang an open sign with your name on it that says Michelle's Hybrid Fashion. That'll make you a problem solver overnight. Okay? Put your name out there. Take your family savings. Open a business. That will make you a problem solver. That will make you adaptable. Okay? That is what you are doing today. You are doing what Billie Jean King says. Okay? You are adapting and adjusting. Okay? Because you are stubborn in your goals but flexible in your methods. You got this, people. You got this. You got this. Michelle, one of my favorite, though, liquor stories is I had this little old lady that used to sneak me in canned margaritas. Margaritas in a can. Okay, she's like 80 and would sneak them in, because I joked with her once about going out for a drink. Let's go out for and so then every time since she brings in a margarita, and when I'm not there, which most of the time I'm not front and center in the store, she would like, this is for the man. Leave this for the man. And right along with that Billie Jean quote, I got this one for you. Innovation is not born from the dream. Innovation is born from the struggle. Yeah, Nancy, there are all kinds. I mean, we're having, our no maskers are only coming in on this one person shift that works for us. Is the only time we ever have a no mask issue is on this one person shift, and so we're teaching her different methods for that. But it's the struggle is real. It's again with compassion and understanding that you gently wrap her things and hustle her the heck out of there. Because we just got to keep this all moving. I mean, we got to keep everything in motion. There's a lot of people under a lot of stress right now. And we don't know what pain they are going through. We don't know what pain each and every one of us is dealing with. And there is a lot of it going around right now. And it's really coming to a culmination as the fall hits, the reality of everything. She had 4 masks on, too. I love it. And none of them were covering her nose, probably. But, you really can't make up this stuff, And I haven't seen the video or caught in the full story yet, but one of our consigners today did not have their car went into consign, but I guess their car wasn't in park or something, and their car rolled down our hill into the tent, the pop-up tent for a restaurant. I guess nobody was hurt except for the car, but you really can't make up the stuff that's happening. Inspiration matters. Now, the big thing, Leanne, welcome. It is great to have you with us. Step back, calm down. Step back, calm down. The important thing with it is exhibiting symptoms. The most important thing is exhibiting symptoms. So everybody self-checking, everybody having their temperature taken that was exposed. So really taking it seriously for those that were exposed. To a potential exposed person. Okay, but the biggest thing is symptoms. Okay, and it doesn't mean they got it at work. If everybody's masking up, if everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, no, you don't have to shut down your whole business for it. You don't have to, the biggest thing is at first sign of symptom to get tested. Okay. Is what people are recommending, is what the CDC, what other doctors are recommending at this point, is first sign of symptom. Being near somebody who had symptoms, working with somebody who had symptoms, if you have nothing, that is still not a reason to rush and get tested. And I've been in the medical, you don't even want to know all the medical I've had in the last week, 10 days. But so take a deep breath. It's going to be okay, Leanne. Have a glass of wine. Open the bottle of wine. Open a bottle of wine. Relax. It's going to be okay. And keep in mind, every business everywhere is going to come in contact with this. If it's one of those things. It's like, it's not when your computer, it's not if your computer crashed, but when. Okay, everyone that is in business dealing with, everybody's going to come in deal with this at some point. Okay, that is the way this virus works. No, Leanne, they don't. From the latest CDC guidance, I will find my sheet for you. I have a recent update to the sheet. They are not recommending everybody quarantine. They are really concerned about the first sign of symptoms. Okay, and it's the first sign of symptoms that they take themselves out of play is what's really important. It's not about shutting down. Okay, every grocery store in your neighborhood has not shut down. Every Target has not shut down. Every Walmart has not shut down. Okay, the whole world down, and that is okay. The CDC updated guidance, and I'll have to find my sheet on it, was actually much more conservative on it. Much more conservative on it, and it's really about the first sign of symptoms. And temperature is the number. I've been in hospitals all weekend. Okay, well, since last week, I've been in hospitals regularly. The number one thing they're looking for, okay, besides just asking you if you've been around an infected person, the number one thing they're looking at is temperature. Okay, and there's a reason they're doing that, because that's really one of the first real signs. So the first thing I do is remind all your staff of what they're supposed to be doing for self-check every day. Okay, this is not a time to say, oh, it's just the sniffles, or I'm just feeling a little under the weather. You know, if you're feeling any, I had one last week that, you know, legitimately just had a regular, or the week before, that had legitimately just had a regular head cold, whatever. She's like, I'm feeling better. You know, I know Friday's a tough schedule day. I can come in. You know, I rested for 2 days or whatever. And I'm like, no, stay home. Okay, I want you to knock it completely out. And you don't want people you want to have the philosophy, if there's any level of sick, not that you want people playing games with you, but, you know, if you've got the little bit of sniffles, I mean, shoot, even the other day I forgot to take an allergy pill, and I had a little bit of cough. No, Leanne, you don't have to make them come to work, but the protocol doesn't call for them to do that. Okay, you know, you're really in a combined line here between public health safety, okay, and the safety and welfare of your employees, and HIPAA, okay, of the person who may or may not have this, because now it's just a suspected case. Okay, they don't actually have it. Okay, you don't know that they have it. Okay, they have symptoms. Okay, they have symptoms, and they could have something else. There are other diseases and other things you can have besides COVID. COVID isn't the only thing that's wrong in the health world right now, let me tell you. Okay, so I can assure you that COVID is not the only thing you know, it's the most popular thing right now, but it is not the only thing. So, you know, that is the biggest thing, is at the first sign of any symptom, to get tested. But really, you know, if they go to get tested, because they might have come in contact with somebody who might have gotten it, but they don't even know that that's a positive case, their test is going so far at the bottom of the list, it's going to be 2 weeks till they get a result, versus somebody who actually is exhibiting symptoms. There's really, without any symptom, they're really advising against the testing. There's been a rush to testing everybody, and you can go from testing, you know, negative today to positive tomorrow in things, and that was one of the articles I read today regarding the people that were allowed in person at the Republican National Convention. So to put on the convention in North Carolina, in Charlotte, where we were supposed to put on NARTS this year, there were, let's say, 800 people in person. Normally, tens of thousands of people are there at a convention. But there were 800 people. They were all tested before they left, so within 72 hours of departure, they were tested and cleared. Okay, otherwise they couldn't go to the convention. And upon arrival, before being allowed in the convention, they were tested again. And I forget what it was. It was, 4 or 8 people out of the 800 tested positive after testing negative again. So, I mean, there's so much that can happen with this, and most people are asymptomatic, which means they don't show any symptoms. But every business, every company, everywhere in this country is going to have to deal with this, or is going to be within a 1 or 2 removed from this perspective. So just take a calm, leveled approach, okay? Don't create a panic, okay? Do the right things. Masking helps a lot, okay? It protects people a lot. So doing that makes a huge difference. It does medically just make a big, big difference. And frequent cleaning. There's nothing, frequent cleaning is the real key to things. So keeping things clean, which I think most of us are keeping things, we're wiping things more than we normally have in the past. So those 2 things do an awful lot to reduce your chance of catching it in the workplace. Good. That's great, Leanne. That's just good and smart. And you're closed on Mondays right now, so that's good too. So it's, it's just a day to take a pause. Take a pause. Step back from it. Take a pause. It's going to be okay. If you need further calm, just reach out to me. I'm the easiest guy in the world to reach, Leanne. I'm sure you even have somebody's given you my private number, so just reach out, Leanne. And if you don't have that, just email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. I am happy to be your calm in the storm. Quick on a couple other things happening in the world, just so you're aware of what's happening out there. The Ball Harbor Shops in Miami has started eviction proceedings against Saks Fifth Avenue for neglecting to pay $1.9 million in unpaid rent. Saks says Ball Harbor is blowing this out of proportion and is not. It's not as bad as it sounds. Ball Harbor wants to get paid. We'll see where this goes. It's $1.9 million in rent and late fees. It does not pay a fixed monthly rent. Instead, it pays a percentage calculated by monthly net sales, as well as additional rent to pay for common area expenses, real estate taxes, marketing efforts, according to court documents. So this is a good lesson, okay? This is stuff we've talked about before, because I've talked about people going to percentage. Ball Harbor's other anchor tenant, Neiman Marcus, has filed and has announced it'll close its Galleria store in Fort Lauderdale. And is looking at possibly closing its Miami store. So, I mean, Ball Harbor is pushing a legal envelope here versus trying to play nice. Again, I want to have landlords that I want to have a beer with. Okay, a beer is a uniting force. Okay, rich guy, poor guy, all can unite around a beer. You know, even if it's not your drink of choice, you know, you can break bread, have a hot dog and a beer with them. You know, I mean, you know, I can say I don't get along always with my brothers, but I can still have a hot dog and a beer with them. And that's an important thing. You should be able to do that with your landlords. This is going to create a very bad thing. And if you actually evict Saks from their space, which does it say how big their space is in this? Who's going to take that space right now? So, I mean, you know, you either compel payment and you have a hostile relationship moving forward no matter what, or you actually evict, and who's going to take that space? So you get the space back, who's going to take it? So it's a delicate balancing act. You know, you really need to not have these adversarial relationships. You know, I've said it before on the program, I only have one that's kind of a jerk right now, and, you know, I'm keeping my options open on that, because life's too short for that. Anybody see the, maybe I'll cover that tomorrow. I'll read you the post from my sister's closets, the ones in Arizona and California. We've been there on bus tours in Arizona before, and in California. Nice stores, Ann Signer built, and longtime NARTS members, and why they're leaving one location in San Diego, the San Diego store we visited, not because the store wasn't doing well, but because of issues with the landlord. Landlord relationships should not be adversarial. They just, yes, you both are in the, you both serve different purposes, and it's really one of the reasons why I talk about renting versus owning. Renting allows flexibility, okay? It allows you to stay in the business you're in, okay? You're a retailer, okay? You're in the hospitality business ultimately because we make our customers and our people feel good. If you read my article in this month, I think it's this month's newsletter where I talk about what business we're in. You know, it allows you to expand and contract your space. It gives you a great deal of flexibility. And quite honestly, most small businesses fail when they buy their building because they're in a business that they're not in. The business of running a building and caring for a building is completely different than the business of being a retailer or the best reseller out there. So, you know, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, I have great relationships with the overwhelming majority of my landlords, and it should be that way. It should be that way because that's the I want to be in good relationships with everybody. So, our friends at Gap are closing 225 stores this year and more in 2021, both at namesake Gap stores, Banana Republic, and you know, they've made a big deal that their San Francisco flagship is closing. You know, and comps in stores, though, that have reopened, and including online sales, have risen 13%. Second quarter net sales for Gap fell 18% year over year to $3.3 billion, with sales at Gap down 28%. Old Navy only down 5%. Banana Republic, down 52%. In Athleta, their other brand, up 6%. Okay, and that is where they're investing. None of the closures are really happening at Athleta. But Gap's leadership is really employing a no-nonsense approach where they're really taking the bull by the horns and getting rid of the underperforming stores. So, good thing there. But workforce restructuring is going to be a big topic this fall. Okay, you're going to see it in the airlines and hospitality as the government benefits subside come October. There may be some extension to that because some of the layoff numbers are going to be big. come 10/1, I mean tens of thousands in one shot. But it's not exempt. People are streamlining. Even our friends at Coca-Cola is restructuring their workforce and setting voluntary job cuts. Right now they're voluntary. If they don't hit their goals, they won't be. Coke said it'll offer voluntary layoff packages to employees who qualify, starting with about 4,000 workers in the U.S. Who were on the payroll before September 1st, 2017. Okay, the cost of severance for this is going to be in the $350 million to $550 million range. Now, granted, Coke has over 86,000 employees. Okay, so you're talking, but that's still 5% of the workforce. Okay, so it is significant, and it doesn't mean that we're not selling Coke still. Okay, they're still going to sell. They're streamlining some of their brands. They've bought up all these other beverage brands that have popped up over the years. So they're part of it is consolidating and streamlining things, but that is jobs, livelihoods, and families that are affected. And part of it at this point comes down to a convenient time to do it. A lot of companies have known they needed to do this, but it's socially acceptable to do it during a pandemic. It's socially acceptable not to rehire somebody after the pandemic. It's socially acceptable to run a more streamlined business. It's socially acceptable to say this was a losing store and cut it during this pandemic. Okay, it is optics, it is appearance, but that is why you're going to see more things like what Coke is doing. Okay, 4,000 out of 86,000 doesn't sound like much, but it's about 5%. So, I mean, that is significant. And that's just the first start. If they don't hit the right goals or the right people don't choose during the voluntary to hit the goals from an expense standpoint, there will be further cuts. So, we'll see where that goes. But that is what is happening there. Tomorrow I'm going to have some stuff because I didn't want to touch it just on the IRS guidance. I wanted to get some feedback from some of my folks in Washington. The IRS on Friday, just days before the President's executive order on the tax deferral, okay, so the payroll tax deferral, which I've recommended against, the IRS has issued guidance on that. And I want to digest that personally a little bit more, and I want to get a little bit more feedback from my folks and my contacts in Washington as to what this really means. There's some conflicting things in it, and I just want to make sure that all the advice I'm giving still holds true. But the short version is I don't want people to pay that out. I mean, to do the deferral, because it's not a guarantee, and if you have to pay the taxes later, it's a bad thing, and it would be a bad thing for your employees. But in the IRS guidance, it actually makes it like an even worse thing for employers to do, and the president really wants employers to do it. So there's been a lot of pressure both ways. Again, this was released late Friday, which is the common time Washington likes to dump things that they don't want the press talking about all weekend. So we'll talk about it on, I'll have some more information from my folks in Washington and my analysis of it hopefully tomorrow night for you, because I do want to talk about that. It'll be a hot topic in the news, and I want to give you my feedback. So that's one of the things I'll be covering tomorrow night. But today, Self-Care Sunday is about you. About you. Your questions, your concerns, you feeling comfortable, you taking a deep breath, you having a, what is our recipe of the week? A sour cream snowball. Hang on, I'm screwing up the recipe of the week. I'm screwing up the name of it. Sour cream snowball cake. I wasn't screwing up the name of it. Sour cream snowball cake. Okay? you having dinner made by Rebecca, or Rose making meatloaf, or Jennifer making something in her pantry. You know, she's always got something making there. Or Kitty having lunch with her daughter, the big time St. Louis lawyer. Okay, this is all about time for you and taking time to enjoy some of life's pleasures, spoils, enjoying you. That's what Self-Care Sunday is all about. I'm here every night at more 8 than ish. All the resources that I talk about, go over to narts.org/resalestrong by noon the next day. narts.org/resalestrong by noon the next day, including this video. Get there live. Thanks to Cassandra and Adele, make that all happen behind the scenes. They make me look good. That all happens by noon the next day. I am here live every night at more 8 than ish Eastern every night. More 8 than ish Eastern every night. If you have a question in between, you need an answer, you're freaking out about something, just about freaking out, you just email me, Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. That's where you find me. Ladies and gentlemen, we start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. Tonight we are on page 146. Our good morning tonight was good morning, eyes up, hearts up, mind sharp, compassion on full blast. Sip my coffee. I don't have coffee. We'll skip to our nighttime beverage. Okay, let's go. Our good night tonight is good night. Eyes shut, hearts open, minds calm. Calm, Leanne. Minds calm. Empathy on full blast. I'm not sipping some tea. I'm sorry. It tells me to sip tea. You do not want to see my tea face. Okay, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even. We will party again. We will be together again. But until then, know that I'll be back here tomorrow night at more 8-ish. More 8 than ish Eastern. More 8 than ish Eastern. Live in the Nards private Facebook group. But until then, know that you and you, but most especially you, yes you, I see you there, you, yes Leanne, you're not alone running this store. It's time for dinner. Let's see what Rebecca made. Have a great night, everybody.